Hello Virgo, welcome to my channel. This is going to be your January 2023 reading for Sun, Moon and Rising. If the story does resonate with you, there will be an extended at the end of the video, which you can access by going to the description box below, clicking on the link, and I'm operating an honesty box feature, so the PayPal link and suggestion is below that. We'll start off with the sound bowl just to cleanse the energy, and I'm going to be doing a traditional Celtic cross spread for you for January. Okay, so if you'd like to take a nice breath in and exhale. Okay, Virgo, let us see what January has in store for you. Okay, keeping things classic, so I'm going to be using the Gilded deck for you, and we'll see what January has in store. Please be mindful that energies are non-gender specific. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind, and I'll be grateful if you like this video, give me a thumbs up please, or you can subscribe, comment, share, whatever you prefer. Okay. Let's see what's going on for you. Virgo, current energy starting the month, Knight of Cups. The theme of the month, basically, shall I say. The challenge is judgment. Okay. In your conscious area of thoughts, you have the Five of Swords. Subconsciously, Four of Wands. Immediate past, you have the Seven of Swords. Immediate future, you have the Knight of Swords. A lot of swords energy here. Your attitude for the month, oh, the Star, very nice. The environment and the people around you, Four of Pentacles. Hopes and fears, the Lovers. And the outcome for the month is Death, which is transformation. Huge transformations are afoot for the end of January. Now, there's definitely a lot of love jumping up at me. Now, obviously, this is not going to resonate with everyone, but there is someone that's coming towards you in the month of January, and it feels like there's a judgment call that needs to be made. And I mean, I really feel that actually, while your focus is on trying to, how do I put this? Trying to, it's not win at all costs, but trying to kind of make sure that you're always kind of on top. And I don't mean that in a sexual way at all. I'm talking about where you feel like if you have been taken advantage of, particularly if other people have taken advantage from you in your immediate past, it feels like you're taking a step up and you're saying, no, I'm cutting away which no longer serves me, and I'm going to look after me now. But ultimately, what's going on deep below in your subconscious area is the Four of Wands, which is really kind of really wanting to have a bit more balance in your home life, in your emotional life, and in your relationships, okay, particularly relating to family. But we do have a judgment that needs to be made, and the judgment call, this is a kind of, it's a predestined energy. It's a major arcana, meaning that there is a big decision that needs to be made, and life will never be the same again. And even though you're wanting to sort of charge forward, you have to make that decision, okay? Needed future with that Knight of Swords. We've got lots of communication backwards and forwards, and in fact, there's a lot of sword energy here. So with sword energy is basically talking about the mind, the intellect, and communications, technology, all of that sort of stuff. But we are in Mercury retrograde, all right? So things might be lost in translation. Technologies might not be working according to plan. So these could be some of the disruptions that you are experiencing in January. What I really love about this is that your attitude is a star. So you really are putting your focus on faith and hope for the future. And the faith and hope for the future is ultimately to do with positive transformation. Now, I know that sounds totally blasé, cliche, could actually apply to anyone. But for you, it's sort of looking at it's like looking at your inner light and saying, well, this is who I am, and I want to project it outwards. It's like starting to show your light off. It's like putting yourself in the spotlight and saying, this is who I am. These are my boundaries. These are my barriers. This is what I'm prepared to put up with, and this is what I'm not prepared to put up with. But as you do so, you're beaming your light to the world. And the Star card also talks about faith and healing and cleansing and wish fulfillment ultimately. So I do feel like you're putting yourself out there in a very powerful position this month of January. But you're not really letting on to other people how you're doing it. It's like things are happening deep beneath the surface, and you're just kind of, you're taking it all on board, particularly if you've had a bit of a struggle with someone taking advantage of you. You're keeping it all within, but then you're kind of powering up to say, this is my light, this is my truth, this is what I stand for, and I'm moving in that direction. Okay. Now, again, there is a choice that needs to be made, because we've got choices coming up twice now with the Lovers card. Okay. So perhaps it is a choice in love, but the choice card also is in your, that Lovers card is in your hopes and fears. So it's basically the hope that you make the right choice, the right decision, as it relates to matters of the heart, and as it relates to passion, the things that you're passionate about moving forward, how you share yourself with the world. Okay. It is very much an element of you sort of climbing out of the cave and saying, this is it, this is me. I've done some soul searching, I've done some shadow work, I've gone through a lot of lessons, and I'm rising above it now. Okay. The fear may be that you don't make the right decision, but we will clarify, so don't worry. Ultimately, at the end of the month, there's a major transformation. I feel like this is kind of, it almost feels like there's like this rippling effect. My death card is on the table here, and it's almost as if I saw this sort of kind of like rippling off, as if you had a drop there, and it affects the whole of your life. Okay. There's basically a really deep change to your sense of, not your sense of self, but it's more going to the core of who you are, and expressing that to the world, which I really, really like. Right, let us clarify. Let's see what all of this is actually about, because it's really positive, really, really positive. Right. I'm going to cut the deck. Chariot wanted to jump out there, which is nice. Oh, hello. Oh, everything's going all over the place now. It's that Hermit wanting to jump out. These are very slippery cards today. Okay. Under the Knight of Cups, we have that Seven of Swords again, right? Someone you don't trust. Under the under Judgment, we have the Page of Pentacles. Under the Five of Swords, we have the Ace of Cups. Under the Four of Wands, we have the Page of Swords. Under the Seven of Swords, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Under the Knight of Swords, we have the Star. Under the Star, we have the Five of Swords. So we now have the Star coming up twice. We've got the Five of Swords coming up twice. And we've got the Seven of Swords coming up twice. Four of Pentacles, we have the Fool. Yes, very nice. The Lovers, we have the Ace of Wands. And the Death card, we have Knight of Wands. Okay. It feels to me that there's been someone in your environment and someone quite close to home, because it is showing up as a Queen of Pentacles, and I don't feel like this is your energy, even though it should be, because you are Earth sign. But it feels to me like there's someone in your environment previously, in the recent past, who may have been trying to kind of manipulate you slightly. And I don't like to say sort of negative stuff, but it's jumping out quite heavily. Somebody who's just been taking you for a ride, and it doesn't seem like a major thing, but someone who's kind of close to home. So take that as it resonates, but it feels to me like it's affected you at home as well. And then it bleeds into January for you with the whole month, because now this person is now trying to come forward, make up for it, but I wouldn't really trust the energy, okay? So you are really trying to embrace this Knight of Cups energy of kind of like, no, I need to move with the heart space, even though people have taken advantage of me, or even though I have experienced hard times and painful experiences, I'm trying to kind of still move with the heart space. I'm trying to kind of ignore that, but ultimately it's still there. It's still there in your radar, whereby it's quite difficult to move forward when you are conscious of people taking from you, okay? Now, what I feel what's happening over the course of the month is that you're moving from that kind of not suspicious energy, because I don't feel it's that strong, but you know, when we look at a situation, or someone poses something or projects something to us, and sometimes we can automatically project into the negative, meaning, oh, what is their agenda? Yeah, okay, that sounds like a great idea, but what do you really want from me? Or, you know, that sort of attitude. And I feel like that's the major shift that's happening for you in January, when you will be moving out of that into a more positive frame of mind, a more faithful, trusting frame of mind as it relates to you, okay? So I feel like there's a major shift in that department. But it does feel like if there was someone in the past, and then immediate past, like literally this last month, who was a little bit sneaky in their actions, I do feel like they're coming forward to you, offering you renewal, apologies, or even if they are unaware that you are aware, they're trying to, I would say, trying to grab more of the good stuff. But I feel like you are very much aware of it. So there is a decision that needs to be made regarding that. They may be coming towards you with the page of, as the Page of Pentacles as well, with an offering or some news that relates to money, property, home life, even something that's just quite nice to try and get your, to win you back, basically. Now, this could be in love, this could be family, this could be friends, it could be work. But it feels very home orientated. And you have a decision of what do you do? Do you choose ultimately to look into the positive, or do you choose ultimately to look into the negative? Are you ready to forgive or not? Okay, so that is, and so when you make that decision, you ultimately are going to be making a decision for your highest good. And there's going to be a huge shift, a huge transformation happening forward. And I feel like it's going to be affecting your work environment as well, okay? In your conscious area of thoughts, I love this, because you're kind of going, I'm fed up with people taking advantage of me, so I'm going to look after myself. And it can sometimes be a bit of a, this sort of energy, okay, if I just show you it, this sort of energy is really relating to me like that cup is really standing out of like self-love. I'm going to embrace my own self-love now. So even if there is a reconciliation between a past romantic partner, or even a past friend, or where there's been a break in the family and there's a coming together, I feel like you are, number one, looking at your own heart first. Okay, what is it that I want out of this? Okay, so no longer, and I feel like that's a massive shift for you, Virgo. It's no longer looking at what someone else can get from you. It's turning it around. Okay, so I absolutely love this, and it's like you are number one. You're saying no. My worth is important. My own personal happiness is important, and I want to fall in love with me. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way, although sometimes we need to do it that way to get into a more balanced way because we're so far off on the opposite spectrum. But I feel like you're saying enough's enough. I'm going to put my needs first. And it bleeds in very nicely with the star card here. Well, also because they're clarifying the same card, so it's really kind of talking to each other here. Okay. In your subconscious area, so that's where your focus is. I'm looking after me, and so whatever decision I need to make is going to be based on my highest good, not everybody else's, mine. Okay. Subconsciously, what you are kind of gearing up for, the kind of energy beneath the surface that you're unaware of, is this element of, if I do this, if I really put myself as a forward motion trajectory, I am authentically honest with myself and I'm true to myself, and I need to put my needs first, because I know that if I put my needs first, I'm a happier, brighter person, and then I'm better for everybody else. Okay. I feel like deep down, you know that if you move along that direction, you will ultimately feel a bit more solid in your daily routine, your daily lifestyle, and you'll feel a bit more balanced. Okay, and feel a bit more reunited with family as well, reconnected, like a deeper connection with your family as well. Now the Page of Swords, being over there as well, is just jumping out at me as kind of like intuitive hits that you're getting, because this is in your subconscious area of thoughts, and so it feels like you're getting messages. So some of you may even be experiencing certain kind of psychic abilities. We all have these things innate within us, but unless we really practice and work on it, we only get little spells of them every so often to remind us, oh, we have these abilities. So I do feel like you're picking up messages beneath the surface as well, but everything that you're doing this month is really geared towards your own ultimate fulfillment, and it feels like a new thing for me, a new way, a new integration into this looking at yourself, your heart. Now again, we have the star coming up again, which is beautiful. The Knight of Swords with the star card. So we're working, it feels like we're starting the month off in a very kind of headspace, but hugely connected to the heart and your relationships to other people, your relationship to yourself. And then we sort of shift into kind of work. We shift into how you apply that in the real world. Okay, we've got the Knight of Swords with the star card over here. Feels to me like there's going to be some good news coming on in, and fast and furious. Okay, that is giving you hope for the future as it relates to work. I'm really feeling work now. Okay, that it's quick as well, and maybe a little bit forceful, but it's a thing that rejuvenates you, gives you almost like an A-OK from the universe going, yeah, Virgo, you're on the right track. This is the way to do it. Put your needs first and everything will fall into place. And so this is the start of where you start to feel a little bit rejuvenated, a bit more healed within, and a bit more forward focused on your goals and aspirations, which is ultimately like a type of happy ever after, or kind of just feeling a bit more solid and grounded in your day, like your daily routines, how your work-life balance. Now, in the area of your approach and your attitude, I really do feel like this thing is I am working towards my own happiness, and anyone that's going to stand in the way of anyone who doesn't have my back or doesn't support me, it's okay, because I'm moving towards my star, my true north. The Five of Swords in this regard would really be affecting people in your life, that particularly because I feel like this was quite anyone who sort of took advantage of you in your recent past, and it's really jumping up quite strongly. So I know that this is a general reading, but it feels pretty strong to me. Where was I going with that? It feels to me like you're really looking at your let's say your team, okay? The people, your close connections, the people that you sort of integrate with on a daily routine or monthly, or your family and stuff like that. And you really are starting to look at them from a very logical point of view, okay? And that is, do I feel drained after hanging out with them? Do they constantly criticize me? Do they ultimately have my back? Because I don't feel like you're thinking about it in a negative sense. You're taking a very kind of balanced, logical attitude towards it, in that, do they really support me the way I need to be supported right now? Do they love me unconditionally? All of those sorts of questions. And as you do so, that's where you're finding your true north. That's where you're finding, okay, well, I need to make sure that I involve myself with the right sort of people who are on my wavelength, so that I can be going in the direction that is best aligned with me, okay? Now, I don't feel like you're telling many people about this, because in a way, what's actually happening at a much deeper level is you're stepping into a new you, okay? You're finding, the Fool card talks about a leap of faith, talks about a brand new venture, talks about a whole new way of living. But the Fool is also usually represented as a young boy with a little stick with a bit of baggage, not baggage, but he's got his luggage over there, but it isn't very much. And the dog is also there to remind him to be playful and joyful and leap out into the unknown. Now, I feel that is actually what's happening at a deeper level, particularly because you've made the choice to put yourself first. This is your own heart, a new way of finding you, okay? And you kind of know that this is, you're setting off on this new adventure of self-discovery within yourself, but also recognizing that it is going to have a very rippling effect on the rest of your lifestyle, on your work, your everything, even your health, okay? But I don't feel like you're telling anyone about it because of the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is really keeping your cards close to your chest. So even though you know that there's a major shift happening, it's like you're just keeping a little bit quiet about it, because you know that you're in the transitional phase of it. Now, with your hopes and fears, this choosing, so for some of you where this relates to an ex-partner coming back in and wanting to reunite, or be it a work partner, romantic partner, friendship, family member who's been estranged for a while. Is that the word? Estranged? You now have a choice. Do I take a new beginning or not? Okay. Do I fear the unknown, or do I just leap out into the unknown with vigor, excitement, childlike energy and joy? Because Ace of Wands is there, it's leading me into, so where it begins the month of January with thinking about your relationships within yourself and within others, it starts to shift into this, how am I applying myself in the real world as it relates to the work and my doings, how I'm connecting with other people in kind of work and the things that I do. Okay, it could be also that you're getting the green light on a project that you've been hoping for, like an inspired idea that maybe someone has communicated to you in the immediate future with that star card. So I see a really, really positive shift here in January for you. The outcome is beautiful. You've got great transformation that feels, as I was saying before, it's impacting your whole life, okay? Things are transforming, but they transformed deep within yourself first in the beginning of January. And now it's starting to have the rippling effect in your outer world. And what that does, when we have our emotions are within us, and the things that we do for work and for money and for just to kind of pass a day, is outwards, right? So it feels like it starts within and then it shifts in the outer scope into your doings, into your work, into your excitement. And we've got the Knight of Wands here, okay? So it is going to, it feels like everything's been happening at a much deeper level for you. And by the end of the month, you are really kind of applying that in the real world, in terms of your attitude, in terms of your excitement. Now, I do feel this Ace of Wands, whatever, it feels to me like inspired action, doesn't really feel like a relationship, although it could be, but I would say that would be new, a new situation. It feels more like inspired action, an inspired idea to do something, be it a project, a new business, a move, starting a sideline hustle, whatever the case may be. Even if you're a student, even if you are retired, this is something that's really exciting. And now you are shifting into that energy of like, yes, I'm going to go for it. Okay, because you've got the Fool, the Ace of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. Poof, I'm on this. I'm on this trajectory. This makes me happy. And it arrived into my reality because I decided to put my own needs first and be honest with myself and start to move from that perspective. Because in the past, when I moved from the perspective of, well, what is going to serve them, and I'm never happy. I'm always like making sure everyone else is okay, to this situation, oh wow, this is what I want. This is what makes me okay. Then things start to fall into place and you start to feel a little bit of excitement. That the Wands energy is fire, and fire is your solar plexus. It's like that, the sunlight coming through because it's yellow in color, and it's also your motivation, but it's your sense of spirit. You're feeling more spirited by the end of the month. So I really like it, Virgo. We're going to get an oracle card just to close off this reading before we move on to the extended. What does Virgo need to know for their highest good, please, for January? Thank you. Oh, we got 3 cards. We'll take them all. I think I need to sneeze. The first one that's upright is play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Now, this card is pretty much, it's easier said than done, particularly if you are recovering from a little bit of a shock to do with someone who's been manipulative or taken advantage of you. It's very difficult to get out of that energy. So that's why they're saying have fun, celebrate. You are shifting into that energy, of course, but if you're able to find, even if it's just a case of writing a list of the things that, fun things, like I'm going to dance in my room, put some music on, and it's a Thursday night and who cares? Or, you know what, I'm going to spend my Saturday morning, I'm going to go play putt-putt, or whatever the case may be for you. It might be useful for you to find little fun things to do just to get into your energy faster, into this beautiful transformational energy of excitement much faster. It's happening anyway, but those will be the tools to help you get there faster. We've got also the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. And we have Get Grounded. Empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. So, we've got Age of Light, which is ethereal, it's really high, it's kind of in the cosmos, particularly with that those intuitive hits that you'll be getting. And then the Get Grounded is deep down, and you're sort of kind of hovering between both of them. So it feels like there is, it's kind of going up and down for you. So it's important to kind of allow yourself to be uplifted, okay? But also where you can, because you're quite sensitive at this time because of people who have taken advantage of you. There is that vulnerability. Find ways to connect with nature. Go for a walk in the park, do some meditation, sit on the ground, do some gardening, feel the soil between your nails, that sort of thing. Those are the things that are going to help you kind of get back to basics. Get back to the basics of you, okay? It's like stripping away at certain things and getting back to the core. And all of these areas where you are feeling kind of that you have been robbed of something, or that you have been robbing yourself, okay? Know that you have all the tools necessary to overcome this, because you've been training for this for lifetimes. So you have had much worse than this. This is nothing compared to what's coming up for you in terms of you've had much worse than this experience now as you shift into this energy, and you have had much better as well. But you've got this. You've got this. This is like chicken, SHIT, compared to what you've been through before. So it's just that final kind of like, you need a few of them to kind of really kind of change the trajectory of your life in a positive way that actually serves your own highest good. All right, so that's all I have for you, Virgo. I really hope it helped. I hope it resonated. Moving on to the extended, I'm going to look at this decision, this judgment card here. I'm going to explore that a little bit deeper, okay? And I want to explore the death card, the outcome of the month, the transformation, how it's really transforming your life. So I'm going to be investigating, exploring those two areas much deeper. So if you're interested in that, you can go to the description box below, click on the link, and the PayPal link is beneath that, and I'll see you there. But for the rest of you, have a wonderful month. Good luck on this venture towards self-discovery and self-love, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.